All right, let's jump right into this incredibly relatable explainer. Today we're really unpacking the whole process of AI pairing. We're following a motion designer's quest to build a desktop app called the Focus Project using strictly AI. Like a lot of us, they had this killer idea they just had to build, but traditional coding, it just felt like this impossible, towering wall of dry documentation and endless tutorials. So they turned to AI, thinking, this is it. This is the ultimate shortcut. Well, we're going to explore the hilarious, sometimes maddening, and ultimately super rewarding reality of what actually went down when they tried to let AI do all the heavy lifting.
So we start with our protagonist's big dream, completely driven by this illusion that AI could finally be that magic button. I mean, as a motion designer, they were used to visual interfaces. You click, you drag, you immediately see a result. But opening a totally blank file with just the blinking cursor, it's a completely different beast. There are literally no buttons. They had a tiny bit of React experience, a pretty good eye for CSS, but building a real, functional desktop application was completely uncharted territory. They really thought AI was going to be the button they'd been searching for to just conjure up working code on command.
Section 1. The Magic Button Myth. Expectations versus reality. Okay, so there's this really sharp contrast in AI capabilities right now. If your problem is super common, like needing the exact perfect syntax for a React-to-Effect hook or a map method, AI absolutely nails it, flawless. But what happens when you ask it to, say, add a database and totally move away from local state? Total collapse. According to the creator, the AI just broke everything. And that's because a structural change like that cascades across multiple files, and the AI just couldn't handle that big picture app architecture.
I absolutely love this analogy from the source material. When AI hits a really niche configuration, it just doesn't understand. Like, say, some highly specific electron builder failure, it doesn't just put its hands up and say, hey, I don't know. Nope. Instead, it turns into an improv comedian, just confidently hallucinating custom configurations that literally do not exist. It plays the whole yes-and game with your errors, which just sends you on this completely wild goose chase for settings and dependencies that are entirely fictional.
Moving on to Section 2, the problem-solving loop, or as it's better known, the abyss of debugging. Have you ever wasted hours doing this maddening 6-step dance? It goes like this. You ask for a feature, bam, it gives you buggy code. You tell it there are bugs, so it gives you entirely new bugs. You try to be a good partner and give it some more context, and what does it do? It completely forgets the conversation and reverts right back to the original buggy code. The creator admitted to wasting hours stuck in this exact terrible loop before finally throwing their hands up in defeat and realizing they actually just had to go read the documentation. And here's the really harsh truth about the whole AI pairing process. If you don't understand how your app works, AI won't either. Early on, the creator had basically no clue how Electron's renderer and main processes actually talk to each other. And because they couldn't clearly articulate that architecture, the AI could only spit out these broken, half-baked attempts at a solution. But the exact second the creator took a step back and actually figured out how IPC channels worked, their prompts got way better, and suddenly the AI's responses were actually useful. AI is basically a mirror. Throw a basic lack of understanding at it, and you're going to get basic broken code right back.
Section 3. The breakthrough, that massive aha moment. So one day, the AI spit out a suggestion that was so obviously bad, the creator actually physically rolled their eyes. But here's the magic part. They didn't just intuitively feel it was wrong. They explicitly knew a better way to do it. And that's exactly when it hit them. They were actually learning to code. It's the ultimate twist in this whole journey. Relying on AI didn't magically do the work for them. Instead, the AI was acting like this incredibly frustrating yet super effective boot camp that just forced them to learn the architecture. As one community commenter pointed out, this is the real secret sauce. AI helps you bootstrap your own learning process.
Which brings us to a huge mental shift. We really need to reframe our expectations of what AI actually is. It's for sure not an autopilot. There's this brilliant definition floating around the developer community that calls an AI pair programmer a senior dev going through dementia. It sounds wild, but it's incredibly accurate. It knows a massive amount of stuff, it can read documentation blindingly fast, but it completely struggles to grab the relevant context on its own. It absolutely needs you, the human, in the driver's seat to isolate the issue, guide its focus, and double-check all of its work.
Section 4. Rules for AI pairing. Best practices straight from the community.
If you really want to master the process of AI pairing, these community rules are just absolute gold. First up, you have to use version control, like GitHub branches. Treat it like your personal time machine. Before you ask the AI to do some massive refactor, save your state, because when it inevitably breaks your entire app, you can just easily roll back the clock. Second, take it step by step. Don't ask it to build a whole app. Break things down and tackle one tiny feature at a time. Third, the second the AI starts hallucinating, just feed it specific pages of the actual documentation to ground it. Fourth, treat the whole thing like a conversation. Bounce ideas back and forth rather than just barking one-way commands. And finally, and honestly this might be the most crucial one, talk to actual human beings. The creator found that literally 3 quick chats with a human developer friend fixed the app's big picture architecture way faster than the AI ever could have.
And here is the really beautiful irony of this whole explainer. Our creators started out absolutely terrified of documentation and just horrified by error stack traces. I mean, they originally turned to AI specifically to avoid having to read. But by the end of this whole project, they were analyzing errors closely and diving deep into the official documentation before they even typed out their AI prompt. The AI didn't replace the need to learn the hard stuff. It actually just gave them the confidence to tackle those really scary coding concepts head on.
So as you go out and refine your own process of AI pairing, I want you to ask yourself this one question. Did AI build the app for you, or did it force you to build it yourself? Because if you're actually doing it right, AI is not going to be a crutch that just magically does your work. It's going to be an energetic, slightly forgetful, but downright brilliant accelerator that pushes you to become the developer you always wanted to be. So get out there, keep experimenting, break some things, and most importantly, keep learning.